I have a question for you, chat. What do you get when you take an orb, a cute little pig, and a very wild and paranoid imagination? I guess we'll have to wait and find out. So first things first is we take a ball, and we put the ball on a template, and then we cut that ball, well, I was gonna say in half, but not really in half, but yeah, we cut that ball. Then we decide that we don't really like the shape of the cut that we made, so we're just gonna ballpark it. Like that. And then because of that, what we're left with is essentially Samus's gunship from the hit series Super Mario Bros. 64. Now that we have our Metroid gunship, it's time to just cut some styrofoam at an extreme angle and then add some quote-unquote realistic texture to it with this very, 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 very cheap styrofoam cutter that I bought on Amazon Prime. It's pretty clear from the footage how bad this thing was. It was like I had to strain all of my muscles just to get all the way through that one cut, and I had to do it twice. Once we get the two halves done, we grab our base, or what will be our base, and kind of just Jenga all of these random pieces that we've made together. So we have an orb and two rectangles that have been cut at an odd angle and an adorable little pig. When the general shape has been pretty much agreed upon, you grab some toothpicks and use said toothpicks to just jam them into the styrofoam so that the styrofoam doesn't go anywhere, because we're going to have to cut this down to size. After all of the general shapes have been made, we just need to now permanently make this a permanent fixture by gluing down some PVA glue to attach both of the styrofoam pieces as best as we can to our original design and put it away for later. While those pieces are drying, what we need to do is basically flatten out the bottom of the gunship, and by doing so, what we do, that doesn't make sense, not by doing so, but in order to achieve a flat look, you just get the highest grit of sandpaper that you have lying around on the floor. Like this was 800 grit, and just go to town. And then you get it nice and smooth and workable. After everything has been nice and straightened out, it's time to correct some of the natural grooves and indentations within the styrofoam with some Mod Podge. So we just cover everything with a very, 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 very healthy layer of Mod Podge. While the Mod Podge is drying, what you gotta do next is just make some bits and bobs to wait for the Mod Podge to dry and for the landscape to dry, and so that you can essentially just create more, I guess, height. Another very important step to do before everything finishes drying is to make all of the greeblies and all of the other details that you want to be on the finished product. I wonder if anyone can guess what this is going to be. It actually ended up being kind of my favorite aspect. That's not true. The pig is my favorite aspect of the overall look at the end of the day, but I was really, really, really proud of this. Also, kudos to anyone if they can tell me what these are going to end up being. I don't know how you would tell me that, but yeah, kudos. I hope that you can guess, because you can't really tell because I edited it out, but I cut my index finger so many times with my X-Acto knife when I was doing that. Do not recommend. Yeah, definitely find another way to weather your popsicle sticks in a safer distance. Also, these very important pegs, which ended up shooting like literal bullets across my entire workspace and I have been finding them for weeks afterwards because I only ended up using about 4 of them. Do not recommend doing that either. But actually, maybe do it because it's kind of funny how violently they shoot out. Like an actual bullet sometimes. It's pretty fun. Just make sure that your cat or baby or loved ones or tiny creatures are not around because we don't want tiny creatures to be impaled by, pegs. As we can see here, it's time for us to basically just add some more detail and textures to this very cute boxy rectangle that we made earlier. I've never done wood grain before on styrofoam. Kind of fun to do, I gotta say. I don't know if I did it right. It felt right though, and I think that that's almost as important as doing it correctly the first time. It does kind of look like a brick wall, but I promise you it's not a brick wall, even though it's essentially the exact same process as the way that I do a brick wall because, I'm lazy. After we have our general framework down, we just kind of impress our neighbors by using a knife to make the lines even deeper, because that way, I actually don't remember why. I don't remember why I did it like that. And then to finish it up and add some real wood grain, grab a wired comb brush and just go to town. In one direction though, because wood grain usually scientifically goes in one direction. And there we go. That's what we have. So good luck guessing what it is, but it's kind of funny. Oh, also, not to give it away, but the thing that we just made also needs a door. Not that that's a door, not that I'm making a door or anything, because I'm not going to give it away what it is, but yeah, it's going to have a door. It has a door. Now it has a door. And a roof. It also will end up getting a roof, which was another thing that looked really cool at the end of the day. Yeah, with corrugated paper, because corrugated paper, it turns out, is my favorite thing to work with. Please don't ask me why. Oh, and we need steps. People have to be able to get in and out of it, so they need steps. Now that that was out of the way and all of the glue had dried, it was time to get the hot wire pokey stick and just in a vain attempt to add some scoring texture to the base. This was a very stinky process. I probably should have worn a mask when I did this because I ended up getting a migraine headache and had to lie down on, I don't know why, but I lay down on a tiled floor because the cold tiles felt really good against my forehead. Oh, I was also face down when I did that. And of course, we need to add further texture with a balled up piece of tinfoil. I recently rewatched Return of the Jedi, the hit Star Trek film from 1983, and they gave me the inspiration to make these pretty awesome legs. Yeah. And then finally, after those awesome legs were done, okay, it's pretty obvious now. These are fences. But yeah, we had to make some fences. We need fences. It's important for everything. Fences bring everything together and separate everything and border everything. After the beautiful legs had dried up, I jammed them with some with some glue into the overall structure and used those as a cute little stand. Here is my attempt to make a new life form out of clay. I don't know why I keep thinking that I'm some sort of an amazing sculptor. Maybe it's just because I find it kind of fun to do. But yeah, welcome everyone. Welcome this new life form to existence. Yay, it's so cute. After all that was done, it was time to get some paint.
For the Emperor!
No! That was not paint. That was also not paint. Okay, finally. After that whole debacle was over, it was time to just paint everything black over the Mod Podge, over everything. I don't know why I specified the Mod Podge, because everything got a nice coating of black. I am running out of black paint, and I don't really feel like going to Michael's, but I'm gonna have to run over to Michael's soon and get some black paint, because I need black paint. Everything always gets a coat of black paint due to my lack of creativity and knowledge on how to prime anything in any other color, really. Now it's time to let the black paint dry and get some of this plaster de Paris and add some further texturing to the scene. I guess because it's plaster and not actual craft material, this stuff acts really weird. Basically, no matter how much water to powder mixture you add, in 13 minutes, it becomes hard and unworkable. So you're always on a time crunch, and because you're not very smart and you're nervous and anxious, you basically just cover yourself in plaster. But it's fun. It's fun at the end of the day, but wear a mask if you use it, because boy, that powder really likes to get everywhere. And then after everything dries and these other greeblies are in place, it's time for my favorite. Like I was saying, just give everything a black, just prime. And there we go. Everything is now black, like my soul. I actually realized after I primed everything that I had failed to put down rocks, which was really silly, because why not use rocks? If you haven't guessed at what we're going for yet, you definitely need some rocks. And now, boom, here we go, more painting. See, it's not, I swear, it's not a box, even though it's being painted brown. It's not a, technically it is a box. In a way, you could argue that it's a box. I then repainted the corrugated paper to its original color. I just realized now that I did that, that's pretty funny, and gave the box a nice shade of dark blue. Now it is time to just wait for the box and the rocks to dry into place and use some of this great Vallejo shifter paint on the Metroid Prime gunship. I just used one layer. I just basically filled my airbrush and blasted it until I was happy with it. At a fixed focal point, it's kind of really hard to see how the shifters look, but it's supposed to go from a silver to a purple. And then I also added some lights, just to really give it that Samus look. Boom, there you go. Now that all the rocks had dried into place, it was time to give the grass a nice green, an olive green to be exact, and just a flat brown for the turned up dirt. And yes, this paint color really made me want chocolate. Really badly. A lot of chocolate. As we wait for the chocolate to dry, I gave some weathering to the roof, because it's a metal roof, because what else would corrugated paper be but a cool metal roof? And that was just done with some browns, some silvers, and some Vallejo rust washing. It was then time to give some clothes to our little friend here. Some clothes and some skin tone, and add some details to his uniform.
Boss looking alien! Where?
Moving on, all of the fences were given a nice coat of white paint. Not too much white though, because I want them to look nice and weathered, like my Omanopus fence at their house when I was growing up. Not that this scene is based on a real story. Then the door of the outhouse also got a nice coat of white paint, as well as picking out some rocks with just a flat tone of gray. And then I finally broke down and basically just went to my corner store and just nommed on a bunch of chocolate. Like a bunch of chocolate. After everything had dried, I just covered everything in a wash of various browns, dark browns, light browns, medium browns, and also treated it to a tan dry brush. And then just got about to gluing everything in place. I also almost forgot to give our little pig friend a paint job. I almost didn't paint him. Thankfully I remembered though. He's so cute. And on to the final stage, which was actually really depressing. So I bought this static grass applicator from AliExpress, and it doesn't work. It just does not work. The grass gets really anemic and just might stand halfway, but 90% of the grass didn't stand at all. And I also made a little resin pour to kind of act as alien fluids. And then glued down our pig friend and our alien friend and called it quits. And there we have it, folks. Our very own crashed alien UFO in our backyard. Hopefully the FBI doesn't come. Would it be the FBI? Actually, it would be pretty fun to see Mulder in real life, wouldn't it? I mean, I would like to meet him because the truth is out there, Scully.
I love you.